A kind person will always remain that way, and it will not depend on his current position in society or those around him. Moreover, attacks of kindness can sometimes be noted even in the most unexpected places. In the prison of Gwinnett County, Georgia in the US, an amazing case occurred which was not immediately believed. But facts are stubborn things and everything turned out to be true. This was confirmed by the officers of the penitentiary institution themselves. As 3 inmates realized Deputy Warren Hobbs was having a heart attack, they started banging on their doors to raise an alarm and alerted the rest of the inmates who joined them. The deputy had lost consciousness after suffering the cardiac arrest and was bleeding from the fall, but briefly woke up from all the noise and managed to unlock the cell doors via the control panel on his desk, reported the Daily Mail.
If you like our content and want to see more, I invite you to subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell to receive the latest videos. Now, enjoy the story.
Mitchell Smalls, Terry Lovelace, and Walter Whitehead rushed to Deputy Warren Hobbs' aid. They used the phone and Hobbs' radio to eventually save the prison guard's life.
It scared me. So I mean, I don't care if it was a police officer or whoever it was, you know, I'm gonna do whatever I can to do to save him, man. I don't want to see nobody die.
Whitehead, one of the 3 inmates at Gwinnett County Jail, Georgia. As per records, Terry Lovelace and Walter Whitehead were jailed on drug charges, while Mitchell Smalls had charges of battery to his name. The security footage showed Smalls noticing that Hobbs was not well. He starts banging his cell door and alerts the other inmates. The other inmates join in to bang their cell doors to make as much noise as they can. The noise awakens Hobbs. Then, with a last effort of will, he managed to open the electronic lock and passed out.
He'd grabbed a hold of the desk and he was pulling himself up like this. I mean, it was sad. I mean, because he didn't look good at all, but yet the man had fight in him enough to get up. And as he come up, because I can make eye contact with him then, I'm like, Deputy Hobbs, Deputy Hobbs, Deputy Hobbs, Deputy Hobbs, please, please, Deputy Hobbs.
As soon as the door of their cell opened, the 3 of them rushed to Hobbs' side. They used the phone and Hobbs' radio to alert the jail authorities about his condition.
That's when I just started hollering and screaming and banging on the door to try to alert everybody to wake up,
said Smalls, reported Fox 5. Hobbs is now safe and recovering at his home. Hobbs said all he could remember was a sound like drums and people shouting his name. He had suffered a crack in his head from the fall to the floor. The sheriff's office lauded the inmates for their timely intervention. The inmates, whose rooms were close enough to see what was happening, began pounding on their doors. Soon the entire unit was thundering with noise as many inmates pounded on the doors, shouting for our deputy, who lay unconscious and heavily bleeding on the floor. Our deputy later stated that while he did not realize he'd been unconscious, he became aware of what sounded like pounding drums and could hear inmates shouting his name over and over. He immediately thought an inmate needed help and somehow managed to rise to his feet and press the control panel to open cell doors, ran the statement. Many people have strong opinions about law enforcement officers and criminals, but this incident clearly illustrates the potential goodness found in both. Gwinnett Sheriff's Office tweeted a picture of the 3 men and credited them for saving the prison guard's life. They wrote, "Kudos to these inmates for coming to the aid of our deputy when he suffered a cardiac emergency in a jail housing unit. It's not the uniform that makes a hero, it's the person wearing it. These inmates came to his aid because our deputy, like most law enforcement officers, treats people with the dignity they deserve," said the Gwinnett County Sheriff's Office, according to CNN. These inmates had no obligation whatsoever to render aid to a bleeding, vulnerable deputy, but they didn't hesitate. Many people have strong opinions about law enforcement officers and criminals, but this incident clearly illustrates the potential goodness found in both. The situation could have been very bad if the prisoners had not come to his aid. Media representatives asked the prisoners why they did this and did not leave the person to die. After all, he was their guard in prison, but each of them said that an ordinary person became ill nearby, and does it really matter what uniform he was in? It was just necessary to save a human life. The officer was pumped out by doctors and allowed to be treated at home. The sheriff's office told the media that they were very grateful to the prisoners for saving the officer. It turned out to be very timely. In addition, their actions have taught a lesson to many prisoners who express aggression in places of detention. Despite their prison uniforms, the prisoners turned out to be the real heroes in this situation because no one expected this from them. Prisoners for drug distribution are, of course, not good uncles, always rushing to the rescue, but even in their hearts, something trembled when they saw a person in a disoriented state. Or maybe they just realized that they could cut down their sentence for exemplary behavior. You can't look into somebody else's soul, but I want to believe in the best, that even those convicted of serious crimes have kindness and sympathy for at least someone in their hearts.
If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider sharing it with someone who may find it interesting. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.